For lesson 12.3, you're going to be calculating the area of composite figures, which are made up of two or more shapes. You're going to need to make sure and have your area formulas handy. On page 568, you have a few listed there. You also have a sheet in your packet that has some formulas for you to refer to. You may use a calculator as long as you show your work. I'm going to be working out problems 17, 19, and 20 from pages 571 to 572. Please make sure that you show all the work that I'm showing on my screen to get full credit for these notes. For problem number 17 right here, we have a triangle and then a trapezoid here underneath it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the area of both of these shapes. As you can see, I have them numbered 1 and 2. So for number 1, it is a triangle, so I'm going to use 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. Either one will work. And the base of this triangle right here is 6, and the height is 9. So I plug those two numbers in. 6 times 9 is 54, and 1/2 of that is 27 square feet. Now, I did have to make a little bit of an assumption right here. This part right here says it's 6 inches, and it did not say that this was also 6 inches, but I did take off 6 inches plus 6 inches, which is 1 foot. I took that off of 6 feet so I could find just the measure of this part right here. So I'm going to outline in blue here the trapezoid, okay? And I have most of the measurements that I need. Okay, here's base 1, which is the 6 feet, but base 2 is right up here, and it's not the same distance. So that little 6 inches there told me that I could take 6 inches off of this number 6 feet, and then I had to make sure and take off that same part right there. So base 2 right here is actually 5 feet. And so I have 6 feet plus 5 feet, base 1 plus base 2. I have to multiply it by 1/2 or divide by 2, and then I have to multiply the height of that trapezoid, which is 1.5. And when I multiply that all through, I get 8.25 square feet. And then if I want to find out the total area, the total answer, it's going to be 27 plus 8.25, which is a total of 32.25, or 32.25 square feet. Make sure you get all of that down in your notes. Like I said, just writing the answer really does not help you, but having each of those steps written out for you is going to help you remember the formulas and to document your work. The next problem that we're going to do is on page 572, and it's number 19. You'll notice that I set it up the same way as I did the previous problem, where I have the area of the square calculated first. The formula for the area of a square is technically area equals side squared. Will you get the same answer if you take length times width? Absolutely. But in this case, I have a square inscribed inside of a circle. So I'm going to take 8.5 because it says my length is 8.5. 8.5 times 8.5 gives me 72.25 for my square. For my circle, I have pi r squared. The radius of my circle is actually inside of my square, so don't let that confuse you. I still just need the radius of the circle, which is 6, and 6 squared is 36. Pi times 36 is 113.1. It did say to round to the nearest tenth, so if you take 113.1, which is the area of the circle, and you take away the area of the square, again, if you round that to the nearest tenth, you get 72.3. And when you subtract that, you should get 40.8 for your final answer. And we will label that as meters squared. Okay. Again, to find the area of the shaded region, we're going to find the area of both of them, and then in this case we're going to subtract out the part that's not shaded, or subtract out the square. For number 20, we have two shapes going on. The shaded region is a trapezoid, so that's equal to 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Write your formula. Second step is to substitute in the numbers. 1/2 of base 1 is 8. Base 2 is 18. It doesn't matter if you take 8 plus 18 or 18 plus 8. The commutative property says we could do it in any order. And then we're going to multiply that by the height of the trapezoid. In this case, the height is labeled on the triangle, but it's also the height of the trapezoid. When you take 8 plus 18, you get 26. 26. 26 times 1/2, or 26 divided by 2 is 13, and then 13 times 15 is 195. Completely fine if you use a calculator as long as you're showing those steps. For the triangle here, we have area equals 1/2 base times height, 1/2 of the base, which is 8, times the height, which is 15, and we get 60. Again, we have a total of 195. Take away the part that's not shaded, 60, and we get an answer, final answer of 135 square feet. Okay, you have a few more problems to do for this lesson. Again, the biggest trick or the biggest hint I can give you is to show your work for each problem, and then make sure that you use a calculator to double check your work, and you should do fine. If you need any help, just let me know and we can do a Google Hangout, or I can talk to you via email.